majority of them are South Korean nationals. Prime Minister Chung Se-kyun convened a KCDC meeting this morning, during which he touched upon issues including the number of inbound travelers to Korea and many others. And regarding the Golden Holiday week from the end of this month to early next month, he's expressed concerns that it could be a major obstacle to our practice of social distancing. And he said for those who have plans to go on travel, he advised the public to revise those plans. And he also said that South Korea's exemplary quarantine model was able thanks to the dedication and sacrifice of the medical workers who are fighting on the front lines. And therefore, he says that the SNS encouragement campaign, which is called the Sharp, quote, thanks to you challenge, and which is to encourage the medical staff. And he also extended the public to help and participate in this. And in 2 months, the number of newly confirmed cases has decreased less than 20. And those who are being treated in Daegu also dropped below 1,000, now standing at 900 something. And a total of people who have been treated this week have been decreased for 40%, and compared to the previous week, 2 weeks, the number has been dropped by 1/4. And this was being able to the enhanced social distancing campaign that we practiced for the past weeks. And we would like to express our gratitude to all of the public for practicing the enhanced social distancing despite those difficulties. And we would like to also extend our deepest gratitude to all of those who are fighting on the front lines to fight against the COVID-19 outbreak. And our society has achieved a certain success thanks to the social distancing campaign. Nevertheless, we believe that this does not mean that the coronavirus is sweeping away, and it does not mean that we can go back to the pre-COVID-19 days. Still, there are many cases which have unidentified sources of infections, and as we see the 34 infections in the Gyeongbuk province, Yecheon-gun, as well as 6 people who have been confirmed at the Gyeonggi-do province Pocheon and hospital, and a steady increase in the number of hospital infections. This shows that we cannot put our guards down as of yet, as there are still high risks for cluster infections. And during the past 2 weeks or so, we had the election campaigning, and we need to closely monitor these trends. And we believe that this needs to be carried out for the next 1 to 2 more weeks. During the weekend, this weekend, we believe that we need to practice intensify social distancing campaign and not loosen up yet. This morning, we had the KCDC meeting, and we talked upon the number of inbound travelers to South Korea. From the April 13th, we have been intensifying our measures for the foreigners who are coming into Korea, and this was put in place due to the global pandemic of the coronavirus globally, and this also was aimed at enhancing the effectiveness of our medical resources here in Korea. And therefore, we saw a decrease in the number of inbound travelers, and we saw over 3,000 people who have come into Korea, and we witnessed that those who in the 20s accounted for about 40% of the people who have been coming into Korea. And the number decreased to about 2,000, and also those people are steadily decreasing. However, we believe that there are still many people, especially the South Korean students who are studying abroad, steadily returning back to Korea. As for foreigners, we witnessed about 1,300 of them coming from overseas to Korea, and most of them were short-term visits. And as we intensified the cancellation of visa waivers on April 13th, we saw a drop in the number of foreigners coming to Korea, and this led to a steep decline of the number of short-term foreigners. And this has steadily decreased, and it now stands at about 70, which is a stark difference from the 200s that have been coming into Korea from before we put in place these stronger measures. And we believe that we will yield more results in the going forward. And in order to overcome the coronavirus effectively, we need to develop coronavirus vaccinations and therapeutics. However, this cannot be completed overnight. And the quarantine authorities, we are currently continuing to identify the confirmed cases, and we are putting in place stiffer measures on controlling our border, and we believe that social distancing is the most effective measure to prevent the further spread of the coronavirus here in the country. And social distancing is effective in curbing future and further community transmission by ending the chains of infections. And we are seeing an overall decline in the number of confirmed cases on a daily basis here in Korea. However, the situation is very different globally. Many countries are facing an increase in the number of fatalities, and many countries are also cooperating with us to deal with the coronavirus. And we are also accumulating the opinions of many experts in our community in diverse circles. And tomorrow we will have a KCDC meeting, and we will announce our new guidelines for the public tomorrow. And going into the weekend, I know that many people are feeling lethargic and inconvenience. However, even at this moment, senior patients, as well as many people who are the medical practitioners, they are fighting against the coronavirus. And also there are many people who are going through prolonged treatments. And also, despite the warmer weather, there are many medical practitioners wearing protective gowns and sweating. And please remember their dedications and commitment. And in order not to put their dedication and sacrifice in vain, we ask you to continue to practice social distancing going forward. And we believe that the infection spreads. It can spread by anyone, and it can be even me who spreads the virus. And this virus can be highly infectious, especially through droplets. And the risk even increases when there is more people. And so if you have any symptoms like fever or coughing, we advise you to stay at home and refrain from going to work. We also advise you to keep personal hygiene, including the washing of your hands and coughing etiquettes. And during the general elections, we had a very strict quarantine, and we had strict social distancing. And we also had a new experience of living in a new daily life, a new lifestyle amid the coronavirus. And the government will be rolling out new guidelines for the everyday life quarantine. We are pondering upon this, and we will exert full efforts to bring you the result as soon as possible, and it will be revealed tomorrow. However, please remember and never forget that the social distancing campaign is to last until April 19th. And if we continue to cooperate, we believe that the South Korea can effectively overcome the COVID-19. Thank you very much.
There you have it. And now to wrap up the briefing, South Korea has confirmed 18 new cases on Saturday morning, bringing the total to 10,653. With 2 additional deaths, the death toll stands at 232, and over 7,900 people have fully recovered and been sent home. We have another briefing coming up later in the afternoon. We'll again be providing live coverage of that session. Bye for now.